My name is Davina Lytle and I have PTSD. I'm a wife, mother, survivor, and advocate for mental health, whether it's from illness or injury. I was diagnosed 12 years ago, but I've had it most of my life. I want you to keep in mind, if possible, that I'm an extremely anxious person. I forget stuff all the time, especially when I am under pressure, and this, for me, is being under pressure. So I did some cards up so I can remember exactly what to say, so please excuse me when I refer to them. Like I said, I'm an extremely anxious person, and for the most part I'm going to be doing the videos by myself. When I started doing them a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago, my husband as well as my nephew were here and they were very, very helpful. I just found that I couldn't be myself without breaking into a sweat, and yeah, I couldn't do it. So for now I'm going to try doing it this way. I'm going to write things out on little cards and record myself. So I started writing a blog about living with post-traumatic stress disorder, and I guess what I should do is explain to you what post-traumatic stress disorder is. And I don't want to get it wrong, so I printed off what the Canadian Veteran Affairs wrote. I'm going to read it verbatim for you. Okay. Canadian Veteran Affairs says that PTSD is a psychological response to the experience of intense traumatic events, particularly those that threaten life. It can affect people of any age, culture, or gender. Although we have started to hear a lot more about it in recent years, the condition has been known to exist at least since the times of ancient Greece and has been called by many different names. In the American Civil War, it was referred to as soldier's heart. In the First World War, it was called shell shock. And in the Second World War, it was known as war neurosis. Many soldiers were labeled as having combat fatigue when experiencing symptoms associated with PTSD during combat. In the Vietnam War, this became known as a combat stress reaction. Some of these people continued on to develop what became known in 1980 as post-traumatic stress disorder. Traumatic stress can be seen as part of a normal human response to intense experiences. In the majority of people, the symptoms reduce or disappear over the first few months, particularly with the help of caring family members and friends. In a significant minority, however, the symptoms do not seem to resolve quickly, and in some cases may continue to cause problems for the rest of the person's life. It is also common for symptoms to vary in intensity over time. Some people go for long periods without any significant problems, only to relapse when they have to deal with other major life stress. In rare cases, the symptoms may not appear for months or even years after the trauma. So that's kind of what PTSD is in a nutshell. I think one of the things that was really important is without the support from family and friends, you can go on to experience PTSD for the rest of your life, and that's kind of what happened in my case. I didn't get a lot of support. Okay, so going back to how I am trying to deal with it, I started a blog. I'm writing a book. It started out as a memoir, a life story, but it turns out I can't write about what happened to me without charging my abusers and having them charged with being guilty, like they have to be guilty. And although I know that they are guilty, I really believe that it would be hard to prove that in a court of law, especially this many years after it happened. Not to mention the fact that the stress that it would cause myself as well as my husband, it's just not worth it at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm writing a book, and it's going to be a survivor's guide. And what I'm going to write about are my experiences and how I deal with PTSD on a daily basis. I'm vlogging. Like I said, I'm vlogging because I think that it'll help, but I think it also will create a better connection to my followers. This way you get to see the real Davina Lytle instead of the one that hides behind an edited story online. This is going to be the true me, all fidgeting and and mistakes combined. So I'm hoping that you're going to like that aspect of it. What else? You can find me on Twitter. My handle is just my name, Davina Lytle. I have a website, as I mentioned, that I blog on, and that is davinalytle.com. And I also have a Facebook page, and it's called I'm Still Here. And I hope that you will look me up. Thanks for following. Stay safe and stay strong. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I promise I won't fidget too much. So anyway, thank you very much for following, and I will see you in the future.